We're up to the last 2 lessons now, okay? This second to last lesson is involved in what you're doing in the last lesson when we have more context. But to introduce the idea, we're doing the idea of exponential equations. Up to this point, in all of your maths, you've only dealt with linear equations, which means the unknown x is multiplied. You guys are able to solve this with your level of maths. We're in general maths. You can solve this. If I wanted x by itself here, how would I get rid of the plus 3?
By taking 3.
Take 3 from both sides. Oh, not plus. Take 3. You also take 3 there, so it's going to be 2x is equal to 4. What's the 2 doing to x? What's the opposite of timesing by 2?
Dividing.
Divide both sides by 2. My iPad's freaking out for some reason. Divide by 2. So x is going to be 2. You guys can solve that. But when you hit an exponential equation where the unknown is a power, so for example, 50 is equal to 2 times by 1.5 to the power of x, probably the only thing you guys could do is, what's the opposite of timesing something by 2?
Dividing by 2.
So you could probably divide by 2, which would leave you 25 is equal to 1.5 to the power of x. But then at general maths, you get stuck because you don't know, or you're not even going to do the maths that is the opposite of raising something to a power. That's called a natural log. You would have done that if you did extension maths. You would do that if you're doing methods. But we're not doing that here. You are not able to solve these at your level of maths. So the way we solve it, exponential equations in general maths, is a cheat with a graphics calculator. We solve it with a cheat because only methods covers the maths needed to solve it algebraically. This is also the most complex calculation of this topic, so the notes are long. I gave you 10 minutes to get them down. Please make sure you get these instructions down at some point. Make sure they're on your cheat sheet. So I'm going to get my graphics calculator out now to demonstrate this. Sorry about the split screen, split view, children. Let's put it on the right this time, huh? Okay, so how do we approach solving exponential equations? Number 1, make sure your equation is in the form y is equal to a times by b to the power of x. Let me look at my example here. This, does that look like y is equal to a times by b to the power of x? Yes, no? Yeah? Question?
Yeah. Why is this going to be in the exam if they're not being taught how to solve it?
I'm showing you how to solve it now. Yes. Because someone at SACE decided that general maths kids will only use the calculator to solve exponential, and methods kids learn natural logs. If you wanted to be in methods, you'd be in methods. Okay? I can show you the paperwork of it. Okay? Last year I taught how to do it algebraically as well, but there's no point. I'll just teach you this way, okay? So you can confirm y is equal to a times by b to the power of x. It looks like that. That's your first step. Now, you're going to use the actual graphics calculator function of the graphics calculator. Can you see a button that says y equals under the screen on the left? Can you see that? Press that now, please. This is the function on the graphics calculator that lets you graph things. It draws pictures of graphs. So what we're doing is in the y1 equals part, we're going to put in the left-hand side of the equation. So the left-hand side of our equation is 20. So can you put that in? I'm going to type in 20 there for y1. And what that's going to do is going to draw a horizontal line at y is equal to 20. It's going to go like that, at 20. And then in y2, you're going to put the right-hand side of the equation. Right-hand side is 2 times by 1.5 to the power of x. How do I get x? Can you guys see a button underneath mode that says x, capital T, theta, and n? That's what you're going to use to get the x variable. So let me show you how to type this in. I'm typing in the right-hand side, 2 times by 1.5. The power button is this little hat symbol underneath clear. So if I press that, you can see it makes it small, like a power. And then how do I get x? I press the x, t, theta, n button. So you can see what we have asked the calculator to graph is a horizontal line as y is equal to 20, and then an exponential function that has a y-intercept of 2, so it's going to start at 2, and b, is b greater than 1? So that's going to curve up to the right. So what you should try to envisage here is the calculator is going to draw a horizontal line at y is equal to 20 and an exponential that's going to slowly curve up. Are they going to meet at some point?
Yes.
And so you're asking the calculator to find where they intersect instead of using algebra to solve it. If you're interested, I'll show you after, okay? But for now, the level that's been decided for you is using the calculator. So you have set up the graphics calculator to draw those two lines. So what you're going to do now is press the zoom button. You can see the zoom button in the middle under the screen. Press zoom. Can you see number 6, zoom standard? That's going to open up the graphs to the most standard zoom possible, which is 10 by 10. Can you see the exponential? It's been drawn for you, the red one. Yeah, can you see that it's curving up? Why can't we see the horizontal line? Because that only goes up to 10. The standard zoom is 10 by 10 by 10. Our horizontal line is at 20. So what we need to do is press zoom again. And can you see the option number 3, zoom out? So scroll down to that, press enter. It hasn't done it yet. It's just sitting there going, do you want me to zoom out? So now you press enter to zoom out. Can you see the horizontal line there? Can you see they're crossing? Now, later in some of your exercises, some of the numbers are huge, okay? All that matters is that the crossover is somewhere on the screen. Can you see the crossover? As a human being, can you see it clearly there? But is it definitely somewhere on the screen? So the calculator will find it for you, even if you can't properly see it. The only way that you wouldn't be able to do it properly is if you had this. Is the crossover somewhere on the screen? So if you ask the calculator to find the crossover, it's not going to find it because it's looking here when it needs to be further out. Okay, so zoom out, and just make sure that it's zoomed out enough to be in the screen. Look, I'll do it on purpose. I'll make it like it's so zoomed out I can't see bloody anything, but it's still on the screen. Okay, so now the last step is 7. Press second trace. So can you see above trace it says calc in blue? You're trying to get the calculator to calculate, so you go second trace. Which one of those options do you think finds the intersection? 5. 5 intersects, so you press enter there. And what the calculator is doing, it goes first curve question mark. Can you see at the top there, y1 equals 20? Is that the first thing that I entered? It's just asking you, can you double check? Is that what you entered? Press enter. Is y2 what I entered? 2 times 1.5 to the power of x, double check. And then the weird part is ask you to guess. I don't want you to guess the intersection. I want you to find it. I don't know why the Americans that made this say guess, but it's actually trying to find it, okay? You press enter, and there, it's found it. Can you see at the bottom? It says, well, I'll show you the working that I'd like to do. y1, we put 20. y2, we put 2 times by 1.5 to the power of x. Intersect at... It says it intersects at 5.68, comma 20. That was rounded to 2 decimal points. 2 dp. So solve the exponential equation. Therefore, x equals 5.68. That's how you'll go about solving it for this level of maths. You ask the calculator to draw the thing. Draw the 2 lines, you get it to find where they intersect, and the x value of the intersection here, that's the solution. That's telling you what x is when y is equal to 20. All right? All I would like you to do today, exercise 13D, it's asking you to complete them all. Why all of them? I just want you to get fast at that. That took forever. Why? Because I'm telling you the steps in total. But if you practiced at it, you'll know, oh, it's an exponential equations question. Plug the 2 graphs in, zoom out, find where they intersect, it'll be faster, okay? If you can show me you've answered those and check your answers, you can get your hands in the bag. And also my pivot survey, I've emailed that to you. Could you please answer that truthfully, honestly, before the end of the double, okay? So I'll stop the video there.